Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Good morning, beautiful people. I have never been more excited about a sports show a day in my life than I am about the one today. We got a lot going on. Don't give me that look, Rick Bucher. Do not give me that look.
Yesterday was pretty good, too.
Yesterday was fine. Today will be better. Hey, y'all could be watching any show. You're hanging out with us. We don't take that for granted. Congrats on waking up this morning. Rick, breakfast of choice today. What was it, sir?
I haven't had it yet. I'm still hungry. That's why I came to the show. I'm ready.
Well, hopefully you all are full. Far end Super Bowl champ, James Jones. James, what's the word, brother?
Because yesterday you had your granola bar and all that. Today I don't see you.
Oh, I still got it.
Okay. You know,
I need that mid-show boost.
you know, like the barber say, the word is all the good ones. All the good ones, man.
My barber.
Our barber, because we go to the same barber. Never heard that one. Yeah.
To my right, 2'5", live, LaShawn Shady McCoy, the Eagles' all-time rushing leader. Shady, you look good, you feel good, you play good, they pay good, but you're not playing nothing right now.
That's what they said. That's what my DMs say.
Hello. Open the morning with the D.
Hey, good morning, Shady.
Hey, last night, I don't know if I was watching the MMA. I don't know if I was watching the UFC. I don't know if I was watching the WNBA because
you know what you was watching, though.
Were being thrown yesterday. Caitlin Clark, I would suggest one of the biggest superstars in all the sports, gets decked to the ground right there after getting hit in the face. That was Marina Mabry decks her to the ground after J.C. Sheldon pokes her in the eye, whether intentionally, incidentally. Either way, Caitlin Clark, the star of all stars, spoke up.
I'm a passionate player, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's what it is, and my game's gonna talk, and that's all that really matters, and I love this game, and I'm gonna give it everything I have, so I think that's what competitors do. You just step right back up to the challenge.
I love it. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark, for those that are unaware, though you can't be, the star of a nation, I believe, a star of a generation, Shady McCoy. Caitlin Clark, does she have a target on her back?
Yes, she does. But that's okay. You know, it's funny, man. I think when we talk about women's basketball, it's like we separate it from other sports, right? From football, from basketball, NBA, and we shouldn't. She come in the league with so much hype, and she deserves it, right? If you look at this, the viewership, right? People ain't just watching WNBA just to watch it. They watch it because of Caitlin Clark.
Yes, sir.
And I'm guilty of it because I'm one of them guys. Oh, is Caitlin playing today? I'm watching it. Oh, she's hurt? I'm not even tuning in. But as a player, as a competitor, we don't look at them the same as we're competitors. I'll give you an example. When we watch the game as it comes on, they come in there looking real nice. They got they maybe a skirt on. They might have their heels on. And they are women. That's how we look at them, right? But when they get in that court, they are competitors. And we got to sit as such. And when you have certain players that come in the league with all this hype, and you're a player that you've been there for 6-7 years, and you've been really, really good, and you haven't got that attention, you're like, okay, well, let's see if she's really that good. It goes to everybody. From the LeBron James, I remember when he was his debut against Sacramento, and everybody kept saying, like, oh, is he going to be that good? And they couldn't wait to put their hands on him, block his shot, foul him, talk trash to him. That's part of being a competitor. So I think she does have a target on the back, but that's a good thing. If you watch the WNBA now, everybody's tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark. And now, just only watching her, you watching all basketball. So now if I came to watch Caitlin Clark and I see another girl from Las Vegas, Wilson, that's really, really nice. Oh, okay, well, who is this? Oh, she's the MVP. Now I think the viewership goes up. So I love what they're doing. I think having a target on your back is a good thing, and I think it brings everybody more aware of what's going on there. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I love that. I love what he said. I love everything he said. Caitlin Clark absolutely has a target on her back, but it's earned. And what I mean by that is if you are ever trying to ascend into becoming a star, or if you are a star, you're going to have a target on your back. Quick history lesson, because I had to do one myself. Dennis Rodman, when talking about Michael Jordan and the Jordan rules, if Michael goes to the basket, put his ass on the ground, close quote. Every time he went to the basket, we hit him. Benedict Mathurin, most notably in the finals right now, in a pre-draft interview, he said LeBron James, is going to have to show me he's better than me.
Oh, wow.
Dwight Howard back in 2009 facing LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals when LeBron was still ascending into his stardom prior to LeBron's MVPs. He said, every game we played him, we're trying to end him. We're trying to embarrass him. That is what LeBron, that is what Michael Jordan, that is what people that are trying to ascend into stardom, even before they were stars. Remember, this was before Jordan was a star and before LeBron was a star. Even before they were stars, this is what they're trying to ascend to. Now, I must preface with this. The WNBA is a highly competitive league, and in my opinion, it has got even more competitive. I remember going to a WNBA game because I'm very close with Chiney Ogwumike, former number one overall pick, before everybody cared about the W. It was cool, it was competitive, but even there, sitting courtside in support of her, it wasn't the same tenacity and it wasn't the same competitiveness, at least from my vantage point, that I am witnessing now. I think competition breeds excellence. I believe that the 144, that's the women in the W, I believe that that level of competition has risen to even higher heights, and I think Caitlin Clark, she is just at the center of it. A lot of people want to knock her off because she is one of the biggest stars. A lot of people want to knock her off because if I can knock you off, what does that say about me? That's what everybody has to deal with. She's dealing with it as well.
There's a little more to it than that, though.
Ooh.
And I would say it's not just the excellence that raises the temperature, it's also the attention. They're getting more attention than ever, and they're seeing there's money in that attention, and they want to take advantage of it. But she sprinkles a little more on top of it, and I don't want to ignore that. We try to portray her as, man, this girl from Iowa, and she's this sweet little thing, and she's just this girl shooting threes, and why is everybody mad at her? She lets you know that she thinks she's the baddest thing on the floor, right? And she's going to talk that stuff, and she walks it, right? And if I'm a competitor, I'm like, okay, you're doing a little too much. And you ain't like that physically. So what's my advantage? I'm going to get a little physical with you. And I just went to the Valkyrie-Seattle game over the weekend when I was at home. And we had some of this. I'm watching some of this, but it's not making highlights. And if it was in this, that happened in the NBA, would this be highlights the next day? It would not. To Shady's point, like, we look at the women a little bit different.
Depends on who. If it's LeBron, we talking about it. Now, is it fair to compare Caitlin Clark to LeBron James? Absolutely not at this stage as it pertains to their game. As it pertains to the eyes they bring to the league, I would suggest yes. But remember, when LeBron got into it with the Pistons dude, the Bahamian dude, Isaiah Stewart, we talked about it. Now it was a little more tenacious. You could suggest Isaiah bleeding and stuff, running around the court. I'm going to kill you. But if it's LeBron, Slick, we talking, aren't we?
Is it making 2 segments? I don't know. Right? And here's, this is the biggest thing for me is just the way she's portrayed as if she's being attacked. And why are they attacking her? To me, she's Larry Bird. And we know now how much junk Larry Bird talked. And how much he lit that fire. She's doing the same thing. She's not on, and what's also raising the temperature is that the Fever are like that now. Like, I think if it's escalated even higher, it's because Caitlin's not only putting it on you, but the Fever are beating teams by 18 and 20. And so that only gets everybody else even hotter. I think she brings some of it. I think she's turning up the temperature as well by not just by her play, but by the attitude that she carries. I'm not mad at it, but I'm just saying she's got to carry some of the responsibility for that as opposed to she's the victim.
And that's well said, Slick, because she does have some chippiness about her, and you need that in sports. Right? I think we kind of look over that, too, because like Shady said, they are women. You need some of that chippiness in sports, but it's not a target. I used to think it was a target until I got this WNBA League Pass, and they scrapping every game. And I'm like, oh, shoot, it ain't just Caitlin Clark. But what I will say is the intensity, the effort, adrenaline, all that goes up when you play Caitlin Clark. You know the numbers is going to go up. You know the stadium is going to be filled. You know everybody is watching. And you know if you D up Caitlin Clark and you do something good, you're going to be on TV. So all that goes up. I will never forget, after we won the championship and we played, you will watch certain teams on film, you're like, man, we finna beat them by 40. And you weren't playing this hard on film last week against the Titans, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a different level. They doing Aaron Rodgers discount. It was just a different level of intensity when they seen us as the Packers. And it's the same thing with superstar players. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't a superstar player. When I seen Darrelle Revis, mama, watch this. And I wanted to, I'm finna dog dude.
Why?
Because he was the best. Yeah. He was labeled one of the best. So, I'm about to bring my best. Walk over here. And I knew he was better than me. Walk over here. I wanted to show the world. I know they watching Revis. You don't see Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the intensity and the energy and the effort when Caitlin Clark is on the court is going to go up. Target on her back. No, these girls play hard. They chippy. To be honest with you, they play harder than the dudes in the NBA.
But the good thing is, it should be a target on her back, right?
Yeah.
As much hype as she's got, 9 times out of 10, we see a lot of times where it don't work out like that. This guy, Caleb Williams, not even trying to compare him, but he was just as hyped up. Oh my God, he's coming to the Bears this and third, and we didn't get that, right? And it's not nothing against him. I'm just saying, when you're anticipating something to be so good, so great, and you get there and it's not that, you might be a little pissed off. When I watch Caitlin Clark, it's like everybody is tuned in because we know how good she is. I mean, right now, she's second in scoring, and she's second in assists, and the system missed some games.
Yes,
you get what I mean? And now, in them games that she did miss, like 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, the viewership was down 55%.
Easily.
And then she shows back up, and 3 million people watched it. You get what I'm saying? So when you talk about a target, it's some good and some bad. If I'm a competitor and I'm playing against Caitlin Clark, I'm gonna give you my best effort.
No doubt.
Because I know that we playing against the Messiah. People don't want to hear it. It's the truth.
No, it is.
Since Caitlin Clark has stepped up into the WNBA, the viewership's everywhere. Men, women, everybody's watching. Not just in America, everywhere. And if you're telling me that person shouldn't have a target on their back, what are we talking about? Because this is the NFL or this is the NBA, everybody will be tuned in.
You know what? That's a great point. And I think that's what fans have to become accustomed to, is because this is like, what other women's sport do we really watch where we get this kind of closeness, proximity to the action? And I was surprised. My daughter's a college player. She's pretty good, right? And she's let me know the chippiness and the talking, and I was like, I don't know, as a male, I'm not expecting that from women, right? And she's like, no, all that is going on.
Right.
And we're going back and forth at each other. So we have to understand these women basketball players, they're not any different than any other athletes and competitors.
And I think James hit the nail on the head for me. What James said really resonated. I remember you knew it was a big game in college or in pro for this one reason. I'll let you in at home. If you walk out onto the field 2 to 3 hours before the game and you see the skyline, the zip line cam. Because if you see the zip line cam, that's when you know it's a big game. Because the small games don't have the zip line cams. But the prime time games, you look up and you're like, what is this string going from the light pole on this corner of the end zone to the light pole on that corner of the end zone? And that's where they would put the camera. There was zzz, zzz, and you only have those at prime time games. And when the prime time games was out, that's when you had to bring your own primetime game. So every time I'd walk onto the field, because I didn't know, are we primetime or we're not, especially in college. In the league, you know if you primetime or not. But in college, I didn't know if we were primetime or not half the time. At Texas, we are, we're not. So I'd walk out and I would just look up, and I'm like, oh, if we got the zip line cam, it's time to go to work.
Though, I mean, like, I always knew it was a primetime game because the primetime games, they talk to the primetime players before the game. So it's like Friday, I know, who here? Oh, yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, okay, bet.
Lady, you went to Pitt. I digress. So anyway.
Oh, that's what league.
You were always prime time.
Oh, I don't talk about college.
You're always prime time. I say that to say, Caitlin Clark, she is that zip camera. Every time you step out onto the court and you see Caitlin, you already know, like James said, it's about to be prime time. 41 out of Caitlin Clark's 44 games are nationally televised.
Come on, man.
If everybody's watching Caitlin, like Shady said, and Shady said it perfectly too, they watching me too. I remember when people came to scout my brother, I'm like, wait a second. If scouts are here, they gonna have to see me too. At the time, I'm only 6'1", 210, but I'm backpedaling like I ain't never backpedaled. I'm T-stepping like I ain't never T-stepped. I'm coming out of breaks. I'm hat, hands, and feet like I ain't never hat, hands, and feet a day in my life, because I'm like, oh, you coming to see him, but you gonna have to see me. You're coming to see Caitlin, 100%. But I'm going to make sure you see me too.
And not only that, she's like that though.
Yeah.
Right? I listen up here, and Shady was like that in high school. And I'm sure the dudes knew Shady was like that in high school.
They know.
That's why Shady let us know before the games, he said, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Why you saying, yeah, but why are you saying that, though? Because you know you about to get their best shot, and you like, bring it on. That's Caitlin. Bring it on. She talk junk on the basket, but what y'all see is real over here.
Yeah.
And they like, well, we finna find out. And that's just what the W.
And then they find out.
That's what the W turning into.
How much would it add to it with you guys when you played someone like that, but the portrayal of them might be a little different than what you knew? Mm-hmm. Did that add any fuel to the fire? Like, not that they weren't nice, but that, you know what, you're presenting them as this kind of person or this, like, and they weren't that.
In football, you're less apt to see that because in football, especially in male-dominated sports, you're more allowed to be a trash talker. You don't paint anybody as a media darling. You could suggest Phillip Rivers was the prime person who, like, people didn't realize until later in life. Nah, Phillip Rivers talks that cash.
Yes, he do.
Quarterbacks have the appearance of like, oh, they're just a quarterback.
Tom got some of that.
Yeah.
Tom Brady got that. Like,
Yep.
he's the golden child and all that. He got the hair and he says all the right things immediately. But Tom Brady gonna talk some cash to you, to your face.
All the good.
And then after that, he might apologize. Yeah, I took it too far, my bad. You know what I'm saying? But Tom got something to him.
But to be honest with you, you can't trick competitors.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, we know walking on the field, Richard Sherman gonna talk that.
Yep.
Like, so even if you got a certain perception of somebody, you know as a competitor, talking to players around the league, you know, hey, bruh do a lot of that smack talk. Bruh play with chip on the shoulder. You know the dude you're going up against. So them WNBA players ain't tricked. Some of the people talking may be tricked, but they know, hey, that young girl, Caitlin Clark, is a competitor for sure.
And she the truth.
She absolutely is. More on that later today. We got to go from the WNBA to the NBA. Tyrese Haliburton has a calf strain, getting an MRI on it. We're still awaiting the results. But do you like or hate that he is trying to push to play in Game 6 of the NBA Finals after the abysmal?
We can't go from Caitlin to Haliburton. Like, they just two different attitudes and dog in them.
Hey, we got to get to the NBA Finals. Tyrese Haliburton, he caused a stir, you could suggest. He left the game in the first quarter dealing with that calf injury, came back in the second half. However, when he came back, didn't play well at all. Now, after getting an MRI, he's suggesting that he is pushing to play in the must-win game, Game 6. I apologize in advance. This conversation is probably going to get a little contentious and very volatile potentially. Rick, I will start with you.
Yeah.
Do you love or hate Tyrese Haliburton pushing to play Game 6?
I love it that he's trying and that he wants to play. I'll love it if he gives them something more than he gave them the last game. I'll love it if he doesn't or can't and he shuts it down himself. I'm going to hate it if he plays the exact same way he did in Game 5 and he keeps himself out there thinking, okay, so at some point, A, either I'm going to be able to give us something, or B, these are the finals and I'm going to take the liberty of I want to be in the finals and I want to be on the floor. I understand how hard it is for a competitor to shut it down, especially if you're one of the best players on your team. But the fact of the matter is, he was a minus in the last game, and he needed to acknowledge, he needed to be honest with himself that he was a negative, especially when you have other guys who are contributing and getting the job done. It would be completely different in my mind if nobody else has it going. But that wasn't the case. And so I feel like he contributed to what happened in Game 5 directly by keeping himself on the floor.
Yeah. It's not an option.
What's not?
Not an option.
What's not?
You know the answer.
It's not an option you sit out this game.
Come on, man.
It's not an option you sit out this game. We are in the finals. And you know what? You might not ever get back. You know how I know? Because I never got back. I won in 2010. We had a phenomenal team with the baddest man on the planet at quarterback. We never smelt it again. This might be your last opportunity that you ever do an interview and it say finals behind you. I don't care what it looked like. I don't care if I got to hobble out there and then I figure out that I can't do it. I'm going out there. I was having a conversation with my kids yesterday because we out there training and my older son, like, I got a headache. And I said, just sit down. You got a headache. You can't play. I said, you know what? I said, in 9 years, I said, your dad missed 7 games. I said, torn PCL, I missed 2 games. I said, torn PCL, MCL, I missed 5 games. I said, you think I won't hurt the other ones? He said, probably not, huh? I just was 100%. You go out there for your teammates, and bro, this is not an option. You in the finals, dog.
So that was that passive-aggressive stuff.
You in the
like,
finals, man.
Go ahead.
You in the finals. This ain't no
hey,
option.
real
You
quick.
go out there hobbled or not.
I want to ask you, James, when you play with players, because I know you about to go, when you play with players that sat out and they didn't push to injury, how'd you look at them?
You already know what it is. Bro, ain't no dog, man.
So,
Man, sitting out 5 weeks.
I
with a
lost
hammy,
respect for players like that.
100%.
but I still have the question. If he goes out and plays like he did in game 5, are you still good with him staying out there no matter what? Do you respect that over the other?
If he's moving the way he was moving in this
he
last
played
game,
bad.
to where I don't see no hobble and I don't see you limping, doing none of that, you play. Now, if I'm out there and we see it clear as day, like, dang, he can't even move, he limping here, get your butt out. And the coach should get you out.
I'll give you a quick example, though. So, Game 7, OKC versus the Nuggets, right? It's clear as day that Aaron Gordon was hurt.
Oh, yeah, it was.
He limping, he hurt.
Yes.
The MVP said, bro, don't go out here and play. I love that. So don't go out there and play. He said, I'm playing.
That's right.
Y'all need me. Now, that's a situation where I love that attitude, right? But I say, you know what, yo, you might hurt us because you're explosive, you're tough, you rebound, right? You push the pace a lot. He couldn't do none of that. When I watch him being hurt with the hammy, and I watch Haliburton play, you can't tell that's the same.
It ain't.
I see him running up and down the court. He ain't limping, you ain't stopping, you ain't favoring the side.
That's true. That's
you
a good
play
point.
bad. And you know the problem is? You want to scapegoat. Because you've been playing bad this whole series. You had a couple good moments, and we praise you. But the truth is, you did not play well. Because I watched you before have 5 points in 3 quarters.
Truth is.
And I watched you last game have 4 points in 35 minutes. But you gonna tell me you hurt? I ain't buying that. And I will last thing to say is, if you the best player on the team, right, and you can go out there and play, and you not hurt, but you might be feeling some type of pain, because that's sports. And everybody has got some type of pain to him. As Brunson, he was hurt last series, and we ain't have no excuses about it. If you go out there and you don't play, we will never have a real conversation again. We're gonna be only teammates. How you can practice that? That's it. Because you know why? You're not my brother. Because I lay out on the line for this game, and you don't? Come on, you crazy? I won't even text you the same. Yes, no.
Yeah. Was your Super Bowl with Patty's ankle, or that was the other?
Come on, man. Yeah. I watched Patrick Mahomes mess his knee up. We had a quarterback sneak. I'm in the drink. I'm like, yo, give me the ball, but they didn't want to do that. They gave it to him. He hurt his knee. He was out for a couple weeks. Yeah. And ever since then, he still was hurt the whole year. You think he complained about it?
No, we ain't.
You think he talked about it? He the best player on the team. Yo, listen, one thing about sports is it's a real family bond you have, right? And it's like, yo, nobody's 100% healthy. But you gonna go out there for us, and I'm gonna go out there for you. And if we don't do that, we look at you funny.
That's it.
Try to play. Give everything you have to play. Yeah. But if you get out on that court and you can't play, you do not play. But you put everything into it. I told the story yesterday of tearing my groin against the Tennessee Titans. True story. Tore my groin against the Tennessee Titans. It was a Sunday 125 game. Y'all can look it up. I think it was 2014. We had to play Thursday. Not the following Sunday. We had to play Thursday night in Dallas. Shady will remember. Shady got busy. It's against the Cowboys. It's on Thanksgiving. I'm from Dallas. 2013, I ain't get to play in that game. It's 2014. Yeah. I'm finally, starting that year. D'Amico Ryans or Michael Kendricks was hurt. So, I got to play. I have to play in that. I am from Dallas. I'm playing the Cowboys. I don't know how long I'm going to be in the league. I'm not a starter. It's on Thanksgiving.
Mama and Dad going to be there.
To play. Everybody going to be there. Whole family going to be there. Acupuncture twice a day. Yeah. Arasti twice a day. Y'all know what that is. Graston twice a day. Manual therapy. I'm getting in the pool. Thursday, the game day, I do a workout in front of Howie Roseman. I do a workout in front of Billy Davis, the defensive coordinator. I do a workout in front of Rick Minner, the linebacker coach. I work out in front of all of them. After I finish the workout, I'm like, oh, I'm playing. I got the Toradol shot, everything. I'm playing. Howie comes up to me. You're a break glass if needed player. Meaning, if I have to play you, break the glass, you gonna play. But other than that, you're not going in. I did everything within my power to play. Now, mind you, I had a second-degree torn groin. I mean, so I
that matters too. Yeah.
But I did everything within my power to play. I worked out to play, and I was a break glass if needed player. Haliburton, do everything within your power to play. But under no circumstance do I believe he should go out there and hurt the team if he cannot play.
Oh, wait. Who's the best player on defense that year? That year you're talking about?
Maybe Jenkins, maybe Miko.
Okay, let's give me one.
Maybe Trent.
The best player.
Fletcher Cox.
Let's
Take
play
Fletcher Cox.
Oh, he's a really good
Fletcher
one.
was good that year.
So, if you take yourself out, you put Fletcher in your shoes, and it's the Super Bowl. What conversation is how we have him there?
He goes.
He goes.
Yeah, ain't no glass broken.
That's a really important point. That's a really important point.
He did pull our
I tore my
Tyrese.
groin.
That's, that's,
Here's the distinction, though, between football and basketball, I believe, is, and I'm not going to name names, but I've known any number of players, and other players have acknowledged it. There are some players that when they're not right, when they're not physically right, they can't play. They're just not that.
like
Because mentally, they just don't feel like they can get it done. And again, there's some really good players, guys that you would look at are stars, guys that I covered firsthand, and it would be like they'd have a little something, and he'd be like, "That can't be that bad." And that dude couldn't. It wasn't even that he couldn't go; he didn't believe he could go. He didn't believe he could be the same player, and that may be Tyrese Haliburton because of his game. Like, he doesn't know how to adjust to the fact that I can't just go by somebody. Because they're like Jalen Brunson, he may be dinged up, but he's able to use his body and still get to his spots. I don't see that Tyrese necessarily has that game.
that's weak.
Understood, but it's reality. But it's reality.
No, I'm saying that's true. But as a player,
Yeah, it is not worried about
I give you a story, right? And I'm gonna say the names. We had this. I forget it was like a autograph signer or something was that, and I'm with the old heads because it's football and it's basketball. Allen Iverson's there. Me and Allen, we friends. I'm a huge fan. I don't let him know all that. But I'm crazy, you know what I'm saying? And it's him. I think it's Eric Snow and somebody else. And they was laughing about. I guess somebody was hurt while I was playing. It was like somebody was hurt like now, right? Because the basketball was going on, and we were talking, and it was a rule for the Sixers that if somebody was hurt on the Sixers and it wasn't a real injury, you couldn't be hurt. Yeah. And I was like, well, what you mean? Because if I'm hurt, I'm hurt. They said because we got a 165 player, that's our best player, that he don't really never miss games.
Yep.
Allen Iverson. So if Allen Iverson's gonna go to the floor and average 30-something points, he's 165 soaking wet. He's hitting the floor every single night, and he plays. Not the practice, he playing the game. And you 225, 30 pounds, 250 pounds, and you hurt because of a little hand, a little ankle, a little knee, we looked at you different. And that was the rule. So I say all that to Haliburton, right? If certain players, if you're the main player in the squad, and we depend on you, it's our last, if we lose, we go home. We go home. And you telling me you might not play because you might not play well when you hurt?
And not only that, though, because I was always taught to, like, if you're a good player, even your presence out there helps.
That's true.
And I bring that up to say, like, I was a good player on the Packers, and when I tore my PCL, I wasn't 100% at all. And I will never forget Aaron came up to me and he said, bruh, even you being out there, bro, your presence gonna help us. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some of the pressure off Jordy and all that, just you being out there, other than it being our fifth string wideout. And I'm like, bring my uni.
Did he call you bruh?
I would say this, though. James, I think that's applicable to some stars. LeBron James, I think that's applicable to. Kevin Durant, you could suggest that's applicable to, though I don't think Kevin Durant playing with this calf injury was very smart when he played on the Warriors, turned into an Achilles. So you could say it's applicable to some stars. I don't think that's applicable to Haliburton.
Why not?
Because we saw his presence on the court versus McConnell's presence on the court. Haliburton's presence ain't help. Like, the delta, it just didn't help. We have the data that suggests that's not applicable to Haliburton.
How about the data can't just be he didn't play well and he missed shots?
No. But the problem is that he didn't play well and he missed. It wasn't that he just didn't play well and missed shots. He wasn't a presence. He was on the floor, but he wasn't a presence. And we've seen other games where he hasn't been a presence, and they've actually won. So it's almost like the Pacers have sort of acclimated themselves to the fact that he's not always that guy. But at this point, against the Oklahoma City Thunder, if you're not that guy, we got other guys that can be.
Let me ask you all a quick something. This is why I love doing this show with all of us having this level of experience. Here's what I don't want, 2-5, and you might understand this. I don't want in the back of Haliburton's mind him to start feeling sorry for himself. Because Haliburton's going up against Shea, and he's going up against J-Dub. Shea's better than him, and J-Dub, you could suggest, better than him as well. But if Haliburton is hurt, then if he gets beat, he can be like, well, you know, I don't ever want a player feeling sorry for themselves because we've all played with those dudes where they know they're hurt. So it's kind of a subconscious excuse for them to get beat because you didn't really beat me, but you beat torn calf me. You ain't really beat me. You maligned me. So I don't want Haliburton to trot out there feeling sorry for himself, getting beat, knowing that, well, it's a little more acceptable that I got beat because I'm hurt. Because I'm hurt. Now, I don't want none of that.
But haven't you already gotten that? Didn't
I
you
just
get that
did.
in the post-game press conference?
Correct.
He's trying to do it now, Slick.
Right?
Correct. I don't give me TJ.
That's
give
what's
me 100% TJ. I don't want no excuses. I don't want
That's
the
what
Pacers
scares
to
me.
lose. Because here's what's weird to me. Why haven't, and Matt, help me out here. Why haven't we got the MRI results?
Yep.
MRIs do not take that long. I've gotten about 10 of them in my career. I looked up 19 hours ago, it said Haliburton's getting an MRI.
Yeah.
You should have the results within an hour. And I ain't seen him yet. So Matt, our researcher off camera, if you've seen him, somebody let me know. So that either tells me, A, the results weren't as damning, or B, we're going to wait until they lose, and then it's going to come out, well, he had a second-degree tear.
So I'm going to go back to Shady's point really quick because you do respect teammates more that go out there and fight through injury. That's just natural. So, question for you guys. Let's just say he goes out there and he looks the way he looks in Game 5, where we see no limp, we see no nothing, we see him moving, he just can't go past dudes, and he pulls himself. And we don't see no limp. What's going to be your reaction if they lose that game and he's sitting on that bench for 37 minutes because he tried to play with, and he moving the right way and he pulls himself? What's going to be your reaction, Acho, when you come up here?
He's not playing well.
Let's just say
He's playing the same way he played in Game 4 and Game 5.
Let's just say he take 4 shots in 3 minutes and he miss all of them and he moving the right way and he pulls himself.
I would rather him pull himself and say, yo, I had a second-degree tear.
Oh, my God.
You serious?
If he has a second-degree tear, I'd rather
Did you
like...
just, hold on.
Yo, this is crazy, yo.
Let me
If he
say
has a
no,
second-degree
let me
tear.
say it again. He's moving the way he was moving this last game.
But he's 0 for 4.
No,
So
just
what?
missing
He missing shots. He
No
missed some
left,
wide open threes
nothing.
with no movement.
And
He missed some
pulls-
wide open threes with no movement.
And here's my thing. If he's missing these shots, he has to be hurt. He has
Was he hurt in Game 4? He had 5 points in 3 quarters. Was he hurt then? This is going to piss me off. I'm trying to do the show at a great morning, at great breakfast. What are we talking about? We talking about the finals?
Here's my thing.
What?
Like, if Shady's not making people miss in the open field, he got to be hurt. Because Shady makes people
But what
miss.
if Shady is still whooping and they tackling him?
Shady makes people miss, so he has to be hurt.
bro.
He has to be hurt.
Shady ain't never not made nobody miss.
Halliburton gets 10 assists a game. That's what he does. He averages 11.2. If Halliburton goes out there and has 4 points and 4 dimes and 3 boards, he has to be hurt. There's no way he could do that healthy. There's no way.
So every good player that has had a bad game been hurt?
Not all these bad games, James. He went 0 for 6, James.
But I'm
0
saying,
for 6.
But,
That's not all-star. That's
you
not
seen
Olympic
him
gold
with the ball in
medalist.
his
0 for
hands?
6.
Slick, have you seen him with the ball in his hands?
Yes.
Do you see any limp? Do you see anything
No,
limiting
I don't
him?
see
Or-
that, but I also don't see him getting into the paint.
So it can't
Like,
be defense?
him missing threes, him taking threes really doesn't help me to the level that I need. I need him getting busy and getting inside. And if he's not attacking, we talked about it. He got switches. He
No
got
doubt.
switches against the bigs.
And they were staying in front of him.
And he didn't go. But it wasn't that they just stayed in front of him. I didn't see him try to go.
Hey, why Shady looks sick right now? Shady looks.
I can't believe this is a
Shady looks
conversation.
sick.
This is crazy, man.
But this is, you know what? The problem is, this is what Tyrese Haliburton brings on.
What?
This is why he's so controversial. Because we've seen him play this way when he wasn't hurt.
That is the point.
Right?
And that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
And you're saying, you're assuming that he either isn't hurt or that he is hurt.
I'm saying,
that's the part.
no, what I'm
not clear
assuming
on.
is if he is hurt, it's not affecting him that much because he looks full speed out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like Shady's point. We knew Aaron Gordon was hobbling down that court. We knew he wasn't right. And I was even watching him, they need to get Gordon out. When you watch Haliburton play, he doesn't look like he has an injury. He's moving well. He's just not getting to the paint. And they're playing good defense, and he's not playing good basketball. And he hasn't been playing good basketball all series. And I have not seen no limp, no hobble, no nothing.
I got to take a break. Last thought, Shady.
I'm good. This is a tough conversation for me because it's really crazy that we really disagreeing with this. This should be a no-brainer, unanimous picks here. Like, yo, you should play the game, man. You've been shooting from game 1 to 4. He's been like, 33, 31% from 3. Like, game is shooting great. Now you hurt all of a sudden? We watched a game where you had 5 points in 3 quarters. You weren't hurt then. Now you hurt now. It's the same results. You run around, you hopping around, you run around. You ain't limping. You ain't stopping yourself. You can't. You're not playing well.
Now,
what's wrong with saying that? I'm not playing well.
What if the MRI results come back today and he has a second-degree tear in his calf? Will that change y'all's opinion?
Is it a calf or a shin? He been grabbing everything.
I hate you.
Okay, you going to break.
It's crazy, man. Hey, y'all trying to let him get away with it.
No, I was not trying to.
When we return, Lamar Jackson says vengeance is mine. He has vengeance on his mind this season. He finally took to the podium and said he wants to get vengeance this year. Hey, what does that look like for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson? Vengeance is mine, says Lamar.
Jackson. I get all my best stuff from that place.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hey, the Ravens are in minicamp right now, and it's clear they want to shake off last year's playoff loss and focus on this season. Here's Lamar Jackson talking about it.
It's football. Everything not going to go our way, man. You know, before it was like, oh, you can't win a playoff game. No, we won a playoff game. We got to the AFC Championship 2 years ago, and we just fell short, like 2 games short this year. But we're going to bounce back, and when we come back, I feel like we're going to have vengeance on our mind.
Hey, we're going to bounce back. We're going to have vengeance on our mind. James Jones, what's vengeance look like, big dog?
Ooh, well, I mean, 41 tinks.
Yep.
4,172 yards and only 4 INTs. That's a
That was last year?
season. That's Lamar Jackson last year. Cold-blooded killer. Vengeance got to be Super Bowl. He's seen every game. He's seen the AFC Championship. He's seen the divisional round. He's seen every game but the Super Bowl. And with Lamar Jackson, other than these other quarterbacks that end up coming up short in the playoffs, a lot of times it's not him playing his best football. So vengeance is him playing his best football in the playoffs and getting his team to the Super Bowl. He has seen every single game. We know he's elite. We know he's like that. He's 2-time MVP for a reason. He might add a 3rd one to his belt this year. He is that good. Vengeance is getting to that game and you being the best player on the field. That's the only way I can see this team getting vengeance.
I'm going to lower the bar slightly. It might work with what James is saying. I'm going to lower it slightly. Vengeance, to me, is Lamar Jackson beating Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen in the playoffs. That's what it is for me. No matter where, no matter when, beating those two in the playoffs, that's getting your lick back. The reason Lamar Jackson has lost in the playoffs the last 3 years is at the hands of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Last year, it was Josh. The year before, it was Pat. The year before, it was Josh. You have to beat them. To me, that's what vengeance is. I said something to y'all 2 days ago. I want to show it to y'all in real time now. Look at Lamar versus Josh versus Pat in the playoffs. Lamar, 13 touchdowns total, 11 turnovers, 3-5 record. Josh, 32 total touchdowns, 6 turnovers, 7-6 record. Mahomes, 53 total touchdowns, 13 turnovers, 17-4 record. So you're telling me Patrick Mahomes has 40 more touchdowns than Lamar Jackson, but just 2 more turnovers? What? Vengeance is beating one of those two, if not both of those two in the playoffs. Hopefully James Jones is right as well, and you get to and win a Super Bowl, but you got to get your lick back on those two. That's what's stopping you. Vengeance isn't beating C.J. Stroud. Vengeance is not beating Justin Herbert. Vengeance is not beating any other AFC quarterback. It is beating the two that have kept you from your goals. It's Josh Allen, it's Patrick.
He beat them too. We know where he's going.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Sure. That's a good point, man. I think vengeance for me is because we look at the stats and all that, and you could argue he probably had the best stats out of all of them too this year. I mean, Josh, him, they were close. Yeah. But to me, it's actually going to the Super Bowl and winning the AFC Championship game. Because you've seen Pat and you've seen Josh, and you lost to both of them. Yeah. And I think the stats, he's already been MVP twice. I mean, he might get another one, but even what would that do? Got another MVP in my trophy case, cool. Nah, go to the championship. Yeah. That's the only thing waiting for Lamar Jackson. He'll tell you that. When he talks about the vengeance, it's more of him. I can see him putting his headsets on, putting, what's his name? Kodak Black. He got that on, NBA young boy. Yeah. But you can't get that type of energy until you see them in the AFC Championship game, you beat them. Yeah. Stats to me, the touchdowns, that matters to me. Yeah. Win the games, dog.
Let me ask you an interesting question. Shady, boxing fanatic, y'all know this. So I'm going to start with boxing, which I don't really know very well, but I'm going to translate it to football. Shady, every now and then, like, somebody would want to fight Floyd for the belt, or you might want to fight Canelo for the belt, or you might want to fight Crawford for the belt. I'm saying names here, the names that I know, Pacquiao, et cetera, for the belt. But if you want to beat Floyd or beat Canelo or beat Pacquiao for the belt, does it matter as much if you get the belt if you don't beat them? Like, say somebody else beat them, and then you beat somebody else. Does it mean the same thing? Reason I'm asking you that question. If Lamar ends up beating Burrow to get to a Super Bowl, because Burrow beat Pat, or Burrow beat Josh, or if Lamar beats Herbert for the Super Bowl because Herbert beat Josh and Herbert beat Pat, is it the same? Like, does Lamar need to beat one of those two, or does he just need to get to the game?
So in boxing, right, if they're called the linear champion, that means if I can remember, if I beat the man, that was the man. So if you're the man with all the belts and I beat you, take your belts, then I'm the guy, right? Now, but it all means the same. Now, if you beat him, he had all the belts, and I beat you, I take it over too. So it looks
sweet.
But I'm saying, it looks better, right? I beat Pat to go to the championship. I beat Josh. It looks better. But at the end of the day, man, that don't matter.
Yeah.
Long as you go to the championship and you win it all, we looking at the Pacers.
100%.
Right? Like, I thought that if Pacers played Boston, I thought, there's no way they can beat Boston. You see what happened last year. But they didn't play Boston, right? They played a banged-up Cavs team. They played a not good Milwaukee team, right? Then they beat a good New York team. They went to the finals. I don't think that matters. Who am I to tell you how you got to the championship? Think about how that sounds. Who am I to tell you how you got to the big dance, huh? What we talking about? If he goes there and he wins a championship, no matter if he plays, I don't know who he plays. And then NCAA championship, he plays Justin Herbert or Tua. That's even bad. But if you play Tua, you beat Tua. It's the same to me.
Man, it's the same to you?
It's the same to me,
It's the same. Now, you think that if Joe Burrow was playing Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen had already won, you think he gonna be saying, I hope Patty win this game?
That's right. You ain't lying about that.
No, not at all. I don't care how you get there, to be honest with you. Yes, we are competitors, but you do. And you would want the easier route to get to the championship.
But is that vengeance? You know what I mean?
Vengeance is putting that ring on your finger.
Without beating them?
Without beating whoever. All I remember at our Super Bowl party is opening that box and seeing them diamonds, and I didn't care who we beat.
What about the champagne?
At all.
I remember that too.
Champagne, all that. I didn't care who we beat. Matt Ryan, Jay Cutler, I didn't care who we beat. We got the championship.
You remember them shots, though? There was shots everywhere.
Everywhere.
Is there nothing to get your lick back, though? What I mean, like, remember, Jay, it was the Giants that knocked y'all out. After y'all won the Super Bowl, shout out to y'all, champagne, diamonds, all the things. Think the Giants beat y'all the next year.
They did.
Did you not want them the next year? Like, did you not want your lick back? Like, or is it just like, I want to advance?
I just wanted to get to the Super Bowl again. Okay. You know what I mean? I wasn't really worried about Eli Manning or none of that. I just wanted to get back to that game. And that's what I'm saying. For Lamar, you've never seen it. I don't care how you got to get there. I don't care if Patty's out, Josh is out, Burrow's out, and you do see Tua or Herbert. You just got to get there. And if it works out to where you do got to go through Patty, you got to get it done. If you got to go through C.J. Stroud, you got to get it done. He has to get to that game, though. That's vengeance.
How can he be picky? Lamar Jackson, real talk, he's done everything a quarterback can do, but win a championship.
That's it. Just get there.
I can't be picky with that, Acho. Give me that.
Hey, speaking of being picky, Kevin Durant is being a little picky on where he wants to play. He doesn't want to play with the Grizzlies, but it's allegedly the Spurs, the Heat, or the Rockets. Hey, it's time for the emoji segment that we still need to come up with a name for, Colin.
KD, the God. You ever saw KD on this block a little bit more, too.
Kevin Durant stays in Phoenix. We already know they are numbered, but a report says he has 3 preferred destinations. Hey, the San Antonio Spurs, they got a lot of young pieces and an up-and-coming team. The Rockets, you saw what they are capable of doing, but we will start with the Spurs. You see there, De'Aaron Fox, KD could join Victor Wembanyama as well. Shady, what emoji would you feel? How do you feel about the Spurs?
Look at this lineup. De'Aaron Fox, you got Wemby, and you got KD, the guard, on the same squad. Smiley face, and got the sunglasses on, chilling.
I like that. I'm rolling my eyes. This is one of those things we think it's going to be great. We think it's going to work out. To me, the Spurs have been irrelevant for a long time now. I don't think the Kevin Durant factor is going to take them from a 20-win team to a 50-win team.
Okay.
Wemby was hurt, too.
Wemby was hurt, too, right?
I would have actually used the poop emojis, but I saw James Jones use it the other day, and the idea of my vision, my image with poop emojis coming down just didn't look very good. I don't want to leave that in the minds of. Look, I just watched the 37-year-old Chris Paul go into San Antonio and not move the needle. And yeah, there is promise with Victor Wembanyama, and yes, he did miss the season after he was shut down at the All-Star break. They were in 12th place when he got shut down. Yeah. It wasn't like they were going someplace notable. So
you just say Chris Paul and Kevin. You need to stop.
What?
They ain't in the same class, Chris Paul and Kevin Durant.
I'm not saying they are, but Chris Paul had absolutely no effect in moving that team anywhere. So why am I going to think that KD is going to take them someplace meaningful?
James, I want to see another emoji.
Because KD is like that. I got stars in my eyes.
Thank you.
Right here.
Thank you.
Just looking at that picture, you got De'Aaron Fox who's like that. You got Wemby who's going to be like that. And then you bring in Kevin Durant who's still like that. I think this team will be much better, including the Rookie of the Year on your squad. I think this team.
Let's see what the fans had to say.
You see that? I can't see that.
They on my side. This just not star eyes. They love it, though.
I see hard eyes. Hey, Karen, push that TV a little bit closer to us if you may. Because our eyes are not star eyes. It looks like hard eyes got it done.
They with me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Hey, let's move on to the Rockets, shall we? Kevin Durant, he could join Jalen Green. He could join Alperen Sengun. Shady, how would you feel about that?
I respect it, though. Really good coach. A lot of young athletic players on that team, but I like the Spurs better, but I don't mind that. Rockets, I think they do good. Second place this year, right?
Yeah, second in the West.
Yeah, that'd be.
This is where I'm going to give my star eyes to. Because if you join a team with Alperen Sengun, who I believe will probably be a top 3 big within the next 2 to 3 years, plus KD, now I'm with you.
Yeah, that's the problem. The next 2 to 3 years. I've got the angry because.
Why?
First of all, this is the way Ime Udoka looks
emojis
all the time. Second, you just saw the Oklahoma City Thunder show patience. They could have gone out and gotten a KD when they only went to the second round last year. They could have gone out and gotten a superstar, but they allowed the cake to bake. They allowed their young players to come up. The fact of the matter is, if KD walks in there, he's going to truncate the development of those young stars. He's going to take minutes. He's going to take shots. Just let the Rockets grow.
I think they're going to have to get rid of a lot of these young fellas. That's why I just got the sunglasses on. It's cool, but I don't know how good it will be because if KD shows up, the team's going to look totally different. It's going to be a lot of young fellas off that team that they had to trade for, kind of like the Suns. When you had to give up Bridges and you had to give up those guys to get KD, it's cool.
Let's see who the fans agree with.
Angry.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Fans are
But like, who the Rockets got that superstar? They don't have no superstars.
Angry.
They don't, but they got some pieces.
Angry.
Bro, they lost. All
right. Shady, how do you feel about the Heat then? The Heat have at least Bam Adebayo, not necessarily a superstar, but Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, he's present, he's there. Shady, how do you feel about the Heat?
I don't think the Heat is really a good team like that, being honest. And I think also Kevin Durant's 16th year. Right? I don't want to go there with Pat Riley trying to tell me how to eat, what to do. Robert, take it easy. I know what I'm doing. So I'm nervous if he goes there.
I'm with Shady on this one. We ain't collaborate with the tape, but we got the same exact feeling. I'm nervous. You go there, you saw what Pat Riley did with Jimmy Butler. There was beef. Now, the difference, though, is KD really just want to hoop. He just want to hoop. But if he goes to Miami, I'm nervous. What are they going to have to give up?
Because they don't have much anyway.
Salute.
I'm going to salute. First of all, KD is in his 16th season, and he's willing to go to Miami and play for Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. Congratulations. You were 37-45 in spite of all the Jimmy Butler drama. You're 7 games out of being the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. I want to see Kevin Durant in the postseason. I don't know that I'm going to see that, certainly not with the San Antonio Spurs. And I already said, the Rockets doesn't make sense. Let that team grow. So Miami's ready to win and play now. Do the most you can
Where you at, Jay?
in the Eastern Conference.
KD must have a house or a condo in Miami. That's why that's on this list. But this, I'm throwing
See how that
team
looks?
ain't
You don't
going
want that
nowhere,
vision
man.
with you, James
This
Jones.
team
People
ain't going
throwing lining up all
You're
over.
probably going to have to give up a Tyler Hero or something like that to get KD. I don't think this team is going anywhere.
They don't have
in the
much,
East.
though.
They don't have a lot. I do not want to see KD go over here. I want to see him playing in some meaningful basketball.
Let's see what the fans have to say. Fans are with James Jones.
Come
once
on
again,
now.
vomiting.
They know.
Oh, that was overwhelming,
They know.
too. Overwhelming. Hey, tomorrow, y'all weigh in with us. We want to see how y'all feel about how we feel about how these players should feel, if that made any sense. Hey, when we return, Caitlin Clark got into a gigantic scuffle yesterday, poked in the eye there, body slammed to the floor moments later. Is it the WNBA? Is it MMA? If it's UFC? Is it, I don't know what it is, but does the WNBA need to protect Caitlin Clark at all costs? Hey, there was a huge moment last night, WNBA. Polarizing global superstar Caitlin Clark gets hit in the eye, then she gets checked to the deck by Marina Mabrey. All this happens in a matter of moments. Caitlin Clark ends up getting a tee. There were several tees thrown around again. It was one of the most polarizing, highly intense games of the season. Several games are intense, but then there was a fight later on. Sophie Cunningham, hands were thrown. It was good television, people. Shady, Caitlin Clark, star of a nation, sensation.
Yeah.
Does she need to be protected more by the fever?
Yes. Yes, she does. Listen, I'm all for competitive sports, right? I don't look at these women like they're just women. I look at them as their competitors. So I love when it gets chippy. I love when she talks trash. I love when they hit her and they knock her. I love all that. But not this part. This part, boom! Imagine in a world where they hit Steph Curry like this, right? And nothing happens. Or you hit back into it when you had Kobe Bryant and Artest on the same team, and you knock Kobe down, and Artest just looks around. Yeah. We talking about the Messiah here, right? When you watch WNBA, everybody's tuning in because of who? Because of 22, right? She was gone for, 2 or 3 weeks? The viewership dropped 55%. She comes back, she's here, I'm back. Yeah. 3 million people watching the game. And now we talking about on our platforms about WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. So yes, they need to protect her. Let me just give you an example of how it should look like.
Okay.
When you knock down a superstar of the league, and that's Klay Thompson. He a big deal for the Warriors. Come here. Draymond Green comes in there.
Come here.
Boy, if you ever touch our superstar like that. Yeah. Now, if it was Steph Curry, he might have choked him out with his hands, not his arm. You get what I'm saying? You can't be playing with the almighty. Look at him. So, yes, they need to protect Caitlin. Another thing, real quick, you can turn this part off, because this got strictly to the commissioner. Now, you have a league for all these years that nobody really paid attention to like that.
True fact.
And you probably had some better players than Caitlin Clark, because Maya Moore was bad. She probably was better than Caitlin Clark, right? Candace Parker was better than Caitlin Clark.
Bad woman.
And nobody tuned in like this.
True fact.
But now you have this savior that comes to save the day. Now everybody's watching. They on everybody's platform. And you allow this? It needs to be a memo, it needs to be an email. Listen, when we playing
an email,
the fever, and y'all foul Caitlin to the referees, it gotta be a straight email, right? It need to be documented. When you put your hands on Caitlin, the Messiah, the Savior, we need technical fouls, not on her.
Not on her.
On them. Because if you piss her off,
even if it's her fault.
Let me finish, James.
Okay.
If you piss Caitlin off or you hurt Caitlin, and you know what? She can't, I'm being serious, and she can't play for, I don't know, the whole year. Knock on wood. She breaks her shoelace.
Come on.
Listen what I'm saying. I'm going somewhere with this. Because it's bigger than basketball. It's business now, right? They about to touch $1 billion this year? Okay. You hurt her from all this horse playing, right? Real talk, because you trying to be chippy and all that.
That's how my grandma
Now, if for 2 weeks, two to 3 weeks, she was gone, the viewership dropped 55%.
True fact.
If she's gone for a whole year off this bull crap, which is the viewership's going to be then? Because I tell you what, 1, 2, 3, 4 people out here that love sports all day will not be watching that. And you know what another thing is? When you watch on all these different networks and platforms, they will not have the WNBA on there until the finals. So, you might think I'm tripping, but I'm not. If you're trying to save the game like the game has been saved because 22 came to the WNBA, if you get Caitlin Clark hurt with this horse playing, you trying to be tough, you trying to prove yourself. And then she gets to a scuffle, and then somebody from the backside knocks her down, hits a rib, hits a lung, and she's out for a year. I don't know where the WNBA is going to be at. And Slick, you can get some water. I don't know what's going on with him, but he know I'm right.
What's wrong, Slick?
We're so not right. You are going way too far. All right. Look, is she the reason that everybody is paying attention to the WNBA? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is she not instigating the fact that they're coming after her? And let's stop with they're being so physical and rough with her. Look at this. If you're going to talk trash, if you're going to push people, you're going to get pushed back. Yeah. You can't talk trash, push somebody, and then walk away because that's part of the reason why she got knocked over. If she turns and she's standing up, she's not going down like that.
Good point.
She's trying to pretend like I'm going to start it. Oh, I didn't do anything. I'm walking away. Oh, down she goes. No, I'm not with that. Look, the team.
What about this right here? What about this part?
She doesn't.
Boom. You think that's okay?
Marina Mabry, she's a bigger version of Caitlin Clark. She talks and does as much mess as Caitlin Clark does. That's an aside. And I will be watching whether the Caitlin is playing or not playing.
Okay.
That's the other thing you got wrong.
You will? Because 55% wasn't.
I went to the Valkyrie Seattle game this past weekend.
I know, but I
enjoyed myself immensely with my daughter and my wife.
I hope you had a drink and some popcorn, but I'm telling you is 55% of the viewership dropped. Only in 2 weeks.
And you know what? And why did she miss? Because she had a hamstring. Not because somebody got too physical.
But my point is, right, because you went and you had a good time with your daughter, and that's a great thing.
And so did 18,000 other people.
Right, but what I'm saying is, for 2 to 3 weeks, when she did not play, the viewership dropped 55%, okay? So what I'm saying is that's only 2-3 weeks.
Part of it's because the Fever games are the only ones they put on. But watch
this. If she don't play for a whole year, you telling me it's not going to affect the league?
Are you worried about Caitlin Clark, like, being out for the whole year because she got pushed?
He should be good.
He
should be good in court. He answers no questions.
Bottom line is,
he should be good in court. He should be a lawyer.
It's not her team. It's not her team. It is the refs, and it is the league. Because the problem is the girl who pushed her, she stayed in the game.
She should get out of there.
And that's why the later stuff happened. Like, they do need to have better officiating and control the back and forth. But this idea that she's the golden calf, she's the sacred, and then we got to treat her with kid gloves. I'm not down with that.
I don't think we have to treat her with kid gloves, but I do think your team has to step up and protect the person who they know is the most valuable. Happens in football all the time. Offensive coaches rarely ever say, go protect the quarterback. It's an unwritten rule.
You already know.
The quarterback is the most valuable. If a QB gets hit late, if a QB gets hit excessively, if a QB gets hit where it's potentially excessively, the whole O-line, receivers, running backs might even run over there because you know the quarterback is the most valuable. Now, what Shady said on the surface, it might seem a little playful, but there is 2009, there was a Tom Brady rule. And that was implemented because Bernard Pollard hit Tom Brady late.
Come on now.
And after Bernard Pollard hit Tom Brady late and Tom Brady had to miss the entire season with a knee injury, the following season, you're not allowed to hit quarterbacks below the knees. Now, we call that the Tom Brady rule. It was a heightened level of the roughing the passer rule because the NFL did not want to lose the greatest quarterback of all time for a long, extended period of time because of what Bernard Pollard did. So a rule was implemented in 2009. Go back and look it up or just type in Brady rule into Google and you will see exactly what happened. So what Shady is saying might seem jovial on the surface, but in reality, the NFL did implement a rule because of its golden goose, Tom Brady.
So you want a Caitlin Clark rule? You're not allowed to touch Caitlin.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I do.
What are we saying? Then what are we saying?
What I'm saying, see, like, and let me be, because I joke a lot, let me be serious, right? You're speaking from somebody that loves the sport, like I am, right? But when I really look at the business part of it, look where the WNBA is at right now. Slick. Seriously, though, 4 years ago, we weren't even doing this. 4 years ago, not even 4. Yeah. We at a level now where WNBA, NBA, it's close. Yeah. And if somebody hurts her the wrong way, right, because we're being tough, that's part of the game. I'm not mad at that. That's part of the game. But if she gets hurt a certain way, I don't know where the WNBA is going to be at.
Yeah. I absolutely love the chippiness because I think that makes the WNBA what the WNBA is. Obviously, like Shady said, the horse playing and all that, like it's going to show up, but let's try to eliminate some of it just in case somebody get hurt. But it's two things here, right? Because when she was a rookie, I didn't feel like her teammates were showing up for her when she was getting everybody best shot. Now her teammates is in that screen. Her teammates show up for her a lot. This ain't the first scuffle she's been in this season. They show up for her, and they continue to show up for her. Number two, she got to protect herself now. You know, like if you're getting in all these little scuffles, don't be turning your back, walk away. I always relate it back to my kids because I be trying to teach them life lessons. I'm like, bruh, you let bruh stand over you like that again, bro, we're going to have a problem. You better get up off this ground as fast as you can, bruh, and protect yourself.
But James, she's not physically capable, though.
No,
she's
this
small.
is not what I'm saying. This is not the first
Mabry
scuffle.
got her about 20 pounds,
But this is not the first scuffle, Acho. She's been in plenty of scuffles, and it's always she does something or somebody does, and she just walks away turning her back. Protect yourself, young lady. All eyes on everybody.
But here's my thing.
Because you started
To Shady's point, Steph don't do that. Steph knows he can do what he wants, and Draymond coming.
That's true.
Steph knows, because Steph be talking cash too. He didn't always early in his career. I've been following Steph for a long time. But he started throwing his mouthpiece. He's be talking cash too.
We all know the cardinal rule. Even if we are talking junk, you're walking backwards looking at the people. You are not turning your back walking away. Steph know Draymond coming, but he ain't got his back turned. But he see what's cracking.
If you know you got dogs coming, because here's what we do know. In football, a quarterback will do whatever, and a quarterback will just do this, because you know Lane is coming. Jalen Hurts knows Lane is coming. Jalen Hurts knows my lot is coming. Jalen Hurts knows I got a whole bunch of
A lot of time I see that, the quarterback is watching what's going on.
But if it's Tom Brady or it's Phillip Rivers, some of the guys that you mentioned that would talk junk, right?
But Brady a OG.
Let's hear this. Let's hear this.
No. Caitlin's the same thing. She's talking junk. She's pushing you.
She is pushing.
Like, don't do that and then walk away.
That's fair, because Brady
you
do
know
stay
it's
10
coming.
toes. Remember,
and Tom wouldn't do that.
Brady stayed 10 toes.
Phillip
Remember Ty
wouldn't do
Matthew? You was there.
Bro.
And you know somebody's coming. You know
was
you're
there,
not going to
2-5.
fight that fight.
You was there.
You ain't. Y'all not putting your hands on Tom. I don't care what Tom do. I got coaches gonna come on that field for Tom.
No doubt.
And you know the thing, y'all gotta stop this because y'all comparing Tom and all this. They not Caitlin Clark. You know why? For her sport, because it's been Tom Brady, it's been Joe Montana, there's been stuff like that. The NFL's at this high level. The NBA, the WNBA is that because of her. It's been better players than her. Nobody really watched. Nobody cared. Everybody cares now. So what I'm saying is, you talk about defending your wife. If she can't cool, the NBA, the WNBA needs to. The rest, the email needs to go out. That, we need to protect our best investment. Y'all keep talking about sports. I'm talking about the business part of it, James.
But protect your investment, right or wrong.
The girl hit her, get kicked out. And that's you laughing because listen, if the girl that hit her gets, if she remains in the game, respectfully, and I feel like we all are like there's everybody plays a sport, and I respect everybody the same athlete, but there's different level of respect.
I agree.
Nobody's gonna remember that girl that hit her. Nobody's gonna remember her. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna remember Caitlin Clark.
That's
so
true.
what I'm saying is to protect our investment, our best thing going right now. We're about to touch a B.
Yeah.
And that's $1 billion.
But
real quick,
let him cook.
All I'm saying is this though: the business part of things. When a regular player sees that, right? Oh, we all can hit Caitlin like that, and nothing happens. We all gonna do it. But if the email goes out, if they touch Caitlin a certain way, even if she starts it, right? And they do that to her, they need to eject that girl. But you know why? Because now it's, we can't hit her like that.
You can do what Shady, but here's the thing. You can do what Shady's suggesting in practice. I don't know if you can do it in a game, because how do you regulate it?
What you mean?
In practice, what I mean is this. I remember being a rookie and I remember being a freshman. If you get near the quarterback, if I got near Colt McCoy, second greatest quarterback in Texas football history, if I got near him, you getting thrown out of practice.
Okay.
Protect the cylinder.
Yeah.
Stay out the cylinder. The cylinder was a figurative circle that a coach would draw around the quarterback. Don't even come near his throwing arm, because if you did, it's a wrap. I've heard horror stories of a freshman at Highland Park High School touching Matthew Stafford in high school and getting kicked out the high school because he hurt Matthew Stafford. This was in high school. I grew up in Dallas. That's how I know. You can regulate in practice. Shady, I don't know how in a game. You fine her. You to the refs. The refs control the game. You can fine a girl a certain amount of money. First of all, y'all talking like that because y'all got paper up here. But when the WNBA, our money's gonna go up because Caitlin Clark is bringing that viewership, right? That's how it works. So if she's not there, how are we getting paid?
Why does it have to be a Caitlin Clark rule? Why can't we just say, you know what? We get into it because everybody, you're going to get kicked out here. That you're done. Rather than saying if you push Caitlin Clark, why don't we just say any player that does that?
Because it's America and everybody's not treated fairly here.
Yeah, that's true too.
And then guess what? With the WNBA, who know? Do y'all know the girl that hit her? Because I don't know the girl that hit her.
But what is lost?
Okay, you know her name. Looked it up. Cool. I didn't look it up. I know Caitlin. What I'm saying is cool. And I respect everybody.
Trash.
What I'm saying is the business part of it. If they lose this girl from all this, because I watched the one game she played the Sky, Caitlin Clark. And the ball didn't even throw it. It was an inbounds play.
Kennedy
and she
Carter
knocks her down. Now, she's pretty good defense.
Last year,
But I'm thinking like,
Avery was on that team.
But listen, that can't happen. I'm going to show her real quick. This can't happen.
That don't need to be in the game. That's clear.
But what I'm saying, when that happens, you know what needs to happen, James Jones? She's get thrown out.
did.
Hold on, let me help Shady's
right.
point, because the woman who checked Caitlin Clark yesterday was on the sky at that time.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So Mabry was on the court, saw Kennedy Carter do it. It's Gucci. Mabry did the same thing a year later.
That's not a basketball.
How are they gonna make more money?
But what I'm saying
how do they make more money?
I agree that in the situation yesterday, in this situation coming up right here, I agree that Mabry should.
What is that?
No, I agree that she should have been kicked out. But what I'm saying is, it's been times that Caitlin Clark has got flagrant fouls too.
Yep.
And she's turning away and she's walking away. Protect yourself, young lady.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. Caitlin gotta stand 10
all
toes.
I'm saying is this is the WNBA basketball. Now, I do agree with you guys. What Kennedy Carter did, that's not a basketball play.
That's not either, though,
This
James.
is not
Not either.
And I agree she should be out, but what I'm saying is a lot of them, too, is basketball plays. This extra stuff, that got to be out in any game.
I also think Caitlin got to stop getting punked, because I'm also tired of seeing
Protect
Caitlin
yourself.
Caitlin
So
gotta
guess
stop
what?
getting punked.
So if that's the case, you tired of seeing it, send the email out. Because guess what? Serious question.
I ain't reading the email.
I'm gonna ask y'all.
I've never received an
before we
email
leave-
from you in my
before
life.
we leave, I'm
What's
asking you one
going on?
question. What is the WNBA without Caitlin Clark?
It's
It's
nothing.
less revenue generating.
It's really nothing. I'm just going to keep it above.
Thank you. Slick. Because you're going to go with your daughter to see the game. That's cool. But what's the whole WNBA without her?
I don't disagree with you in terms of how valuable she is. I disagree with you on how we have to handle her
That's a
as a result of her being
If you
valuable.
ask,
You're going too far.
real quick, if you ask Magic Johnson, you ask Isaiah Thomas, because I asked these OGs, they said after a while, when Jordan was running the NBA, he got certain calls. And we knew you can't, don't touch MJ.
And she will.
Yeah, you know
she's
what?
here
And
too.
MJ,
She'll
I
eventually
just
get them
told you. I
calls.
told you in the break. I told you how MJ also took care of his own business.
But I think
I
that's
gotta
going
go to break.
naturally happen.
They gotta go. We gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go.
We're finishing up OTAs as we speak. First-round quarterback Jaxson Dart is getting an insurmountable amount of praise. So, what would it take for him to take Russell Wilson's starting spot? That's next, the facility. Hey, Russell Wilson expected to start for the Giants this season, but they also drafted Jaxson Dart in the first round, which means there might be a problem there. Head coach has been singing Jaxson Dart's praises, saying he's been smart and aggressive with the football. Good combination if you're aggressive and smart. James, you played for a long time. You saw Aaron Rodgers not necessarily take Brett Favre's job, but essentially be given Brett Favre's job. You could suggest did he take it? Would you say Aaron Rodgers took his job or was given it?
Well, I wouldn't
Take
say
that, take
take
that.
it, but I would say we knew when he was behind Favre that he was going to be like that.
Yeah. But with that being said, Jay, what would it take for Jaxson Dart to take Russell Wilson's job?
I think it'll take the Giants being clearly out of the playoff hunt, so week 13, 14, where you're like, okay, you're clearly out of it, and Russell Wilson playing bad. And I don't see none of those happening. So I think it's going to be extremely hard for this young fella. And then again, we don't know what he's going to be. We don't know if he's going to struggle in preseason. And if he struggles in preseason, does that mean Jameis is the second quarterback and goes in after us? Who knows? I just think Russell Wilson's going to play good football. I think the Giants are going to be better than we think. I don't necessarily see him playing unless they are clearly out of the playoff hunt, and that is later into the season because Russ is not going to give you the opportunity or play bad enough to get benched. I think he's going to play good football. So the only way is if you're looking like, okay, yeah, Russ ain't playing bad to bench him, but team-wise, we're not going nowhere. So let's see what our young quarterback has. And I think that'll be around week 13, 14 to where you know clearly like, okay, we are not in the hunt to make a playoff push.
Every now and then we sing in unison. My first note, Russ plays bad.
Yeah.
That's how he loses the job. My third note, I literally have here on my paper, Giants 2 games behind, 2 games under 500 week 13 or later. Yeah. Same thing. If the Giants are 2 games under 500 week 13 or later, that means they're 5-7 or they're 5-8, so they're out of the playoff picture. With 4 games left, throw Jaxson Dart out there, or if Russ plays bad. The problem, Russ doesn't play bad. It's just not what he does. Now, Russ can play well and his team still lose. We've seen that before with the Denver Broncos, but you don't ever really see Russ play bad. So what it really would take, if the Giants are under 500, Shady, as I look at it, they have the toughest record in football. They're in one of the tougher divisions in football. If the Giants are under 500, clearly not going to win the division, out of the playoff picture, you might as well throw your first-round pick out there, give you some hope, give you a spark.
Yeah, I was looking the same way. Like, keep in mind, Jaxson Dart is the 3rd-string quarterback. Winston is the number 2.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if Russ doesn't play well, which I think he will, You put Winston in there and see how he does, and if he doesn't do well, then I think you go to the third string, the first rounder. Because at this point, you don't want to you don't want to fail him. When I say that is, if everything's going bad, just throw him right out there in week 7, that's hard. Maybe get to week 10, week 11, where we know he's not going to the playoffs, and let's see what our young rookie has. Right? Let him slowly learn a little bit and then play.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, preseason is going to mean a lot to these young fellas coming into the league because, to be honest with you, I don't think he stays the number 3. If he gets into preseason and plays well, I think he jumps Jameis. We all know that's just how the business works. Yeah. I don't think he jumps Russ, but I think if they are out of playoff contention, we want to see Jameis for. If we're a Giants
what if he's not ready yet, though? Because that happens a lot in life. What if he's not ready?
But we got to find out in the regular season. We know what Jameis is going to give. This is our first rounder. We're going to have our backup quarterback go in there, and Jameis, who we know is not going to have the keys to this organization. Yeah. Why put him out of there, especially if we're not competing for nothing? Now, if Russ gets hurt or something, breaks a shoelace,
week 1, week 2,
then you put Jameis out there because you don't want to throw the young fella out there. But if this is a situation to where, okay, we out of it, you got to put the young boy out there.
Out of it is what, week 10?
No, I say week 13. I think about week 13.
So so what I'm saying, you go out there with Russ. If he don't get it done, hey, let's go to number 2, right? Because Winston is...
But week 13 or 14, why are you going to number 2?
That's the question. Is the intention in playing Jameis that late to make the playoffs? Because you're not trying to make the playoffs at that point. You're probably trying to see what you have. Yeah. If I'm a Giants, you drafted Neighbors last year. You drafted Dart this year. Yeah. Hopefully, that's your future for the next 12 to 15 years. Yeah. I want to get to that as soon as possible.
And it's the same way. Let's just say the Cleveland Browns start Kenny Pickett, and it's week 14 and it's no playoffs, and they put in Joe Flacco. Boy, if you don't push a door, you know what I'm saying? See what them dudes got. Yeah. We know what Flacco
I would say from week 1 to 4, right?
That's totally different.
And then maybe you go from 5.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Correct.
Week 13, I can see that.
Correct.
Totally
Very well said. Hey, when we return, Kevin Durant is expected to be on a new team next season, but can KD still lead a championship team? I don't know why that word "still" is in there. I don't think he's ever led a championship.
KD is it Kevin Durant?
Yeah. The dog.
Hey, y'all already know what's up with KD, man. Champion. The dog.
Hey, Kevin Durant's days in Phoenix, they are surely numbered. A report says his preferred destinations, we've mentioned it earlier, Spurs, Rocket, Heat. But keep in mind, KD is also 36 years old on his 16th season. Shady McCoy, KD, can he be the best player on a championship team?
That's the real question?
Yeah, I hope you answer it honestly, too.
If Kevin, wait. Can Kevin Durant be the best?
I can answer if you need help.
Absolutely. Kevin Durant, you can go first. Because I'm blown away that people think, I don't know what people think, because people don't, they know he can.
He think.
Oh, you think? Let's hear it. Yeah, this is crazy. Kevin Durant is one of the best players the game's ever seen.
Absolutely.
So go ahead. Let's hear this.
Kevin Durant, I would suggest, is the top 15 player in basketball.
Something like that.
I think Kevin Durant is one of the greatest individual scorers we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest ISO players we've ever seen. I think Kevin Durant, with his size, with his handle, with his ability to shoot the ball, it is top tier. I also do not think Kevin Durant can be the best player on a championship team. I would go as far as to say Kevin Durant has never been the best player on a championship team. For those that wanted to argue that Kevin Durant was the best player on that Warriors championship team, I've done a little further digging. You all know me. I'm a nerd when it comes to this basketball stuff. The Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, they were 192-64, winning percentage phenomenal, 75%. But with Steph Curry during that stretch, they were 199-54, 78%. During that stretch of Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, when Kevin Durant did not play, 36-14, but when Steph Curry did not play, 29-24. So you're telling me that Steph Curry was more valuable throughout the course of that run than Kevin Durant? Okay, but the finals, Acho, when it mattered most. Yeah, if you're lazy and you just look at points individually, but what about points accounted for? Points scored and assisted on. You're telling me Steph Curry had more than 200 points more than Kevin Durant accounted for? So not just what Kevin Durant was scoring or Steph Curry was scoring, but what they were helping everybody else score. The last thing I'll say is this. Who gets better when they play with Kevin Durant? Not Devin Booker. Who gets better when they play with Kevin Durant? Not Bradley Beal. Who gets better when they play with Kevin Durant? Not James Harden. Who gets better when they play with Kevin Durant? Not Kyrie Irving. So can Kevin Durant be the best player on a championship team? I would go as far as to say he's never been. So why do I think he would start now? He won't.
You want me to double down on that?
Please, sir.
I can't double down on it, but yes, he can be. Yes,
absolutely.
He can. Yes, he can be the best player, but it has to be a team that's already in the hunt. All right, the cooking on the accounted for. I want to know how many of those Steph Curry points that he accounted for did KD provide. That's what I want to know. I want to know how much was he getting from everybody else. If he went to Dallas, for example, he could he would be their best player, right? Fair? He could potentially win a ring there. Cleveland, go back to Golden State, Minnesota. I would say he would be the best player on all those teams, and they could potentially win a championship. All right? So I think it has to be the right circumstance. For me, the best place for him to go would actually be Denver, and then I would say that he's probably the second best player. But that's another matter. I just think it's in the right circumstance because he's 37, because he's a scorer, but he's still an elite scorer.
Oh, my God.
Sure, of course.
And there are teams that need that, and by that definition, I could say he's the best player on that team. So, yes, I think the same formula that won championships in Golden State could potentially be the same formula again.
Here's the dilemma, though, James. Yeah. The dilemma is very simple. Players do not get better that play with Kevin Durant. There's a 10, 12, 16-year sample size that suggests if you play with Kevin Durant, you're not the best version of yourself. You can ask Russell Westbrook himself. Devin Booker got worse.
Okay.
Bradley Beal got exponentially worse.
I'm ready now.
So if you play with Kevin Durant, you're just not the best version of yourself. So if Kevin Durant were to join a Nuggets team and Jamal Murray were still to be Jamal Murray, but what data and experience suggests is Jamal would get worse and Jokic would get worse. That's just what it suggests, Lit. Right. That's just what it suggests. That's just what Devin Booker was an All-NBA first-team caliber player. Was he this year? Bradley Beal was a third-team All-NBA caliber player. Was he this year? Jump in wherever you want to jump in.
So this is the thing, though, right? And I don't want to. The lazy thing to say is we hating on Kevin Durant. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say no because I know how great he is. I know that, and I know how deep inside you know how great he is.
I said that.
Right. So
I spent my first 30 seconds saying that.
Real quick though, I think the thing with Kevin Durant. Now, first I'll answer your question. Yes, he can. He's that great. Okay. And the Warriors is my team. You know that. And when he played for the Warriors, he was the best player on the Warriors team. Right. Year before that. When we played the Cavs and we lost, Draymond made that call in the parking lot. I ain't wait till I got home in the parking lot. Yo, we need you because there's a point where we need somebody to go out there and score. Off the rip. We need a winner. We need you. That's why they went to go get him, right? He didn't go begging the Warriors. The Warriors was begging him. That's one thing. Number two is the easy thing to do is blame Kevin Durant. When I say that, I mean when he went to the Nets, right? Kyrie Irving and James Harden was there, right? So I think the problem is when you have a guy that's so great like Kevin Durant, I think people take a step back we know he can carry it. Because the same Kyrie Irving that played with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn, I didn't see that same Kyrie Irving that played with Luka that went to the finals. I didn't see that same Kyrie Irving that played with LeBron. James Harden, the same James Harden that played with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn, I didn't see that same James Harden when he played with Kawhi Leonard. I didn't see that. Right? So, Booker, another one. The same Booker I see play with Chris Paul, I didn't see that same when he played with Kevin Durant with the Suns. So when I say all that, I'm saying I think sometimes when you have somebody that's so good that it takes some part, I don't need to go that hard because I got him over there. That's the truth.
Here's why I hate what Shady is saying.
That's the truth.
Because
you watched it.
No.
Because even on the last thing, even with the Brooklyn Nets, for example, the same dude I seen with Kyrie with Mavs, Kyrie wasn't playing sometimes not even for basketball-related things.
Here's why I hate what Shady is saying. Because when I look across at a dude like Giannis, Chris Middleton was the best version of himself with Giannis. Drew Holiday was the best version of himself with Giannis. Go look at home. Chris Middleton did not make an all-star team. Chris Middleton played in the league for 9 years. He didn't make an all-star team until Giannis became an MVP. Go look. Do your research. Google it. Drew Holiday, best version of himself. So it's not as though everybody sees other great players and all of a sudden they relax. Because Giannis is a great player too, top 15 player all time, I would suggest. But Giannis shows up and everybody gets better.
So how great is Giannis now, though?
That happen?
See, this is the problem with these arguments, though. Because now if I ask him about Dame Lillard, who's so great, they say if they get Dame, oh, my God.
Dame was hurt, 2-5. He was hurt.
Every year's hurt every year.
No, he was hurt this year. The Bucks were in the playoffs. I don't know where Kevin Durant and the Suns were.
We said championship.
Okay.
The argument's championship, right? But you're not going to say that.
What you mean?
Because I watched Giannis is so great. He's been underachieving lately, right? He's so great.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't won a playoff game in a while.
But when it's about Giannis, you're not as loud. But I notice every time it's Kevin Durant, you get super loud. You take the whole block over. And I'm like, yo, what's going on here? I really want to know because if you put Bradley Beal, another one, Now, let's say they don't play well together. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin, they don't play well. But you're not as loud about how bad he looked. Couldn't guard nobody.
Sure.
Ain't making no open shots, but you're not loud about it. Let's keep going there, because I'm seeing something with this Kevin Durant topic.
What are you seeing?
Right? And then Devin Booker, as great as he was, they're an isolation team. That's who they are. That's what they are. When it's time for you to score a certain way, you wasn't doing that. And I did not once hear you say anything about Devin Booker not scoring. But it comes to Kevin Durant, I don't know what it is
Here's
about
why.
it. You don't never have nothing to say about nobody else other than Kevin Durant.
Here's why.
It's kind of crazy, too.
Here's why. Because I believe, this is where you and I differ, I believe the job of a best player in any sport, in any show, in anything, is to make everybody around them better. I do not think the job of a best player is only to be great. I believe the job of a best player, I believe the job of a best host, I believe the job of a best CEO, I believe the job of a best founder is to make everybody around you better. It's not just about you. Kevin Durant, in my opinion, and based upon all his years, he doesn't make people around him better, and that has always bothered me.
Can I ask you a question?
This is crazy.
Because with Kevin Durant, I can understand making everybody around him better if you need somebody to make you around him better. What I mean, like if you're a shooter, you need Kevin Durant to penetrate and kick you the ball to help you be better. But how does he got to help Devin Booker be better when he's a walking bucket? How do you help Kyrie Irving be better when he's a walking bucket?
Tell me, James.
How do you help James Harden be better when he's a walking bucket? With them dudes, it's give me the ball and I make myself better. So why are we blaming that on KD? Now, like I say, if you are a shooter and you can't go off the dribble, that's different.
I never believe it's just about the sport. I believe it's also about the mind behind the sport. I believe it's what you said about Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Jay, you just being out there is going to help us. And what'd you say? I suited up. So it's not just about what you do on the field.
So now you're going leadership?
Yes, I've always wanted that. But that's just me. That's just me.
Can we come back to this?
That's just me.
That was great, but it wasn't leaders.
We got Haliburton breaking news. Rick Carlisle said, after getting the MRI results, that Haliburton is going to be a game-time decision.
That mean he playing.
That mean he playing. You know what it is.
Let's come back to this after this block. A game time.
Hey, we have breaking news. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle said as they're preparing to play Game 6 tomorrow night, Tyrese Haliburton will be a game-time decision after suffering a calf strain. Again, he had an MRI about 20 hours ago. I'm still waiting for them to reveal the results to the world. Slick, you giving the Pacers a chance to force a Game 7?
Not really. Not really. And it's not depending on Tyrese Haliburton and whether he plays or not. Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams. It just feels like they have their number at this point. And I've been a little disappointed in Rick Carlisle and that you know what, he found a formula early on that worked. How much have we seen him junk up or change up what they do defensively? We just haven't seen the changes that we expected. As for Tyrese Haliburton being listed as questionable, he should have been listed questionable for this entire series the way he's played. He's been questionable.
Ooh, now that's real. Now that's my dog. That's my dog. If anybody got anything to say, that's my dog. I mean, I kind of knew this news was going to come out because I truly believe, and I could be wrong, but if it was some torn in there, they would be saying it. So this here let me know that, hey, it's a game time decision. Let me know MRI came back. We'll go off of you now, sir. How you feeling? You got your treatment. You feel like you can go? Hey, coach, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'm going to fight through it. Let's go do it. So with that being said, I think the series is over anyway, even if Haliburton was 100% healthy. I just think the way OKC's playing right now, I think it's lopsided. I like them in this game.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. It's in your hands. You want to be a superstar. You want to do the chokes. You're going to do all that. Hey, when you banged up, was you going to play or not? Because guess what? I don't care. But Siakam cares.
Yeah.
Your teammates care. Your coach, he cares.
Yeah.
What you going to do, dog? Because
you got to bring it.
Well.
Man, look, however it is. Because even when you was healthy, you wasn't bringing it.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Here's where I'm with Shady. They've convinced me over the last hour. Haliburton has to play, but he has to play well.
Yeah.
When you bring up Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl on that ankle, or maybe it was in the Jags game. I think it was in the Jags game on that ankle. He missed whatever Andy said. You got to go get MRI. Pat played well. The Chiefs won the game. When you think about Thomas Davis, he broke his forearm heading into the Broncos Super Bowl game, Panthers versus Broncos. He had 15 stitches in his forearm off one week. He played well.
T.O. in the Super Bowl.
T.O. in the Super Bowl, broken ankle.
Yeah.
You know, He played well. Haliburton, I don't just want you to go play. I don't necessarily care if you just go out there and play.
Yeah.
You have to play well. If you play bad, you better off, to me, you're better off not playing. You have to play well.
Haliburton has averaged 15 points and 7 assists in these finals. That is not going to get it done.
Yeah.
15 points, 7 assists. That's
college.
That's an average.
That's college.
That's average.
Yeah, Siakam needed to tell him, man.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was curious about you guys is if you have a star, right, and they're hurt and they're playing, but they're not playing to the level that they're capable of playing. Are you going to them? Are you saying, "Hey, brah, we need you"? Like,
who can go to him?
We don't need you. Just need you out here. We need you.
See, you know the cool thing is about this team? I don't look at them as like superstar players on any squad. That's like a college team. So if a guy like Haliburton is supposed to be their best player, and we look at him like he's good, but we ain't looking like he's super special, I can see one of the role players coming to him.
Really? See, I would have thought only Siakam could, because like I can't tell Shady not to play when we're on the Eagles. Jason Peters can tell Shady not to play.
Yeah, but at that time, I mean,
only the superstars can talk to the other superstars.
But when I see them, they don't have that. There's games where you go missing, we still win. Bro, you had 5 points in 3 quarters. Are you a superstar?
Yeah. But I'm just...
You see what I'm saying? Wait, we had that conversation
not only
with you.
that, in the heat of battle, I don't care if you're a superstar or not.
Exactly.
In the heat of battle, bro, if you out here looking weak, bro.
Yeah.
If you ain't helping, get out, bro. Straight up.
Tell Aaron Rodgers that.
12, wake up, bro.
But you can't tell him sit.
But Draymond...
Not sit. I'm not the coach. I can't tell nobody to sit, but I can go up. Come on, bro, make the throw. What you looking? Like, you can do that. We teammates. We in the heat of battle.
No, Jay.
Okay.
You going to be saying that, and then next you know, he going with something. And then you gonna have your helmet on, be clapping.
But what I'm saying is it's not that, because you brothers.
I seen that.
Y'all done been through the heat of battle already. You done been through training camp. Y'all have this bond with each other. It's not like I met Aaron yesterday. Now, if I met Aaron yesterday, that's totally different. You my brother. And we not playing well. That's why I'm not gonna get sensitive if you get on me.
Yeah, Shaq missing free throws and let one of them dudes say, come on, Shaq, make the free throw.
Make one of them, bro.
You like, woo, crazy. You gonna be watching. You're gonna be watching him miss free throws.
When we return, it is time for a Blitz meeting. Can Jalen Williams actually steal Finals MVP from SGA after that 40-point dominant performance? Let's talk about that and more. It's the facility. What a show today, man. What a show.
Listen, I done seen the worst of the worst.
Let's get to a Blitz meeting. Hey, the Florida Panthers won back-to-back Stanley Cups last night after becoming crowned champions. Had us thinking, the Eagles, they won the most recent Super Bowl. Do we think that they can actually repeat? Shady, you betting on the Eagles to repeat this year?
Yup. Hard cash, too, dog.
Hard cash.
The reason why is because we got the best offense, the best defensive quarterback's back, our MVP, running back is back, but the best wide receiver in football, A.J. Brown, and then the coach. That coach is a bad mother.
Yeah. Hey, what are the odds? What are the odds on the Eagles repeat?
I don't know. I'm gonna look up with like 5-10 grand gonna get me. I ain't gonna get too crazy.
Don't get too crazy. Yeah, I'm going yes. Eagles are that much better than everybody else as a football team. If the Eagles stay healthy, I really don't know what or who's stopping the Eagles.
I wish I had my papers up here. You know I'm about to hate. No, man. If you ask me, Eagles are the field, I'm taking the field, but I'm very, very scared. No.
I know who ain't gonna go.
Hate.
The Packers.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. That's facts. Hey, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander averaging 32 points per game in the finals, but this might be the most interesting conversation of the day. Jalen Williams, after a 40-point performance, which was preceded by a 27-point performance, which was preceded by a 26-point performance. I'm curious, can Jalen Williams steal finals MVP from SGA?
From who? Stop playing.
Possible at all?
No, absolutely not. No.
I'm going to say no as well, but it's an interesting question. After J-Dub dropped 40, think this. If J-Dub goes and drops another 45, or say he does something stupid and drops 50, is there a chance? Like, it's unlikely to Shady's point, but is there a chance?
Oh, you had me scared for a minute. You did.
I don't think it's possible.
When we watch these series with our eyeballs, who is the best player on the court?
Shay, more often than not.
There it is, sir.
There it is, sir.
Not possible.
Not possible. It ain't even. Won't happen. It's not a must. Can't happen. Can't win with them.
Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't win with them. I'd rather play with 10. You got to look it up. Bengals left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. has high praise for the offense, saying, quote, "We're really, really special." But the Ravens did win the division last season. Better AFC North offense, 2-5 Ravens, Bengals.
This is a tough one, though.
It is.
But I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think Lamar Jackson's better than Joe Burrow, right? And I think you got to add that with Derrick Henry. Oh, my God. Real quick, Lamar had 4,000 yards passing, right? And one of the highest QB ratings of all time. And then my running back had 1,900 yards. It don't get better than that.
He had 900 by himself running.
I'm with Shady. I've been with them this whole time. It's the Ravens because of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson can do what Joe Burrow can't do with his legs. And 41 passing touchdowns last year, I think James said. 4 interceptions. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I got the Ravens as well. This is a sweep. I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, the run game's going to be 1,000 times better. And then you got Pro Bowl wide receiver Zay Flowers. You added Nuke. You got a really good tight end. The tight end better. They got a whole lot more playmakers.
Well said. Hey, last one.
Y'all
A
agree.
report says the Steelers felt George Pickens and his maturity issues would not go over well with
That's
Aaron
crazy.
Rodgers. So that's why they traded Pickens
Somebody
to Dallas.
lying, man. Somebody lying.
Shady.
I don't believe
Will
that.
the Steelers regret trading Pickens?
I'm going to say no, though, just because with George Pickens there or not there, it ain't going to make a big difference. I don't see them winning the Super Bowl. I don't see them winning the NFC Championship game. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes because this might be the least talented receiving core that Rodgers has ever
I'm going to
had.
say yes, too. I think it's going to come a time, a situation where we're going to be like, dang, we wish they had a number 2. Well, you had a number 1 that you let
He's
go.
40, though.
What you talking about? We talking about the wide out. Let's
talking about things like 40.
He can still throw at 40.
Appreciate y'all hanging. Same time tomorrow. We'll see y'all then.
5 wins. 5 wins.